Imagine looking out at your farm. Um, the earth's just parched and cracked. Your whole livelihood, your family's future, it's literally drying up right in front of you.
Yeah.
Then just moments later, picture that same ground. I mean, bursting with life, vibrant green, all because there's suddenly this consistent, life-giving flow of water.
It's a powerful image, a really transformative picture, and it connects, directly to our most fundamental needs: survival, dignity.
Absolutely. And what this story really drives home is how often the biggest innovations, the really profound ones, aren't necessarily these complex, futuristic gadgets.
Right. Sometimes it's about unlocking access to the basics, and often through surprisingly simple, scalable solutions.
Exactly. So today, our deep dive is into precisely that, the huge impact of reliable water access for smallholder farmers. Especially, with climate change making everything so much harder.
And we've got incredible source material for this. It's a deeply personal story from a TED Talk given by Josephine Waweru. She's a farmer in rural Kenya.
And she shared her whole journey, didn't she? From immense struggle and despair to this breakthrough moment, and then this really inspiring vision she developed.
Yeah, it's quite something.
Yeah.
So our mission today really is to unpack how one device, which she calls miraculous, could actually turn bare soil into food.
And turn hopelessness into dignity.
Right. And how her individual success snowballed into empowering her whole community. We want to explore not just the what happened, but the how and the why. Why does her story resonate so much globally?
Okay, let's dive in. So, first, that harsh reality. We need to understand the context for millions of people.
Smallholder farmers all over the world. These folks grow a huge amount of the world's food.
A significant chunk, yeah.
But they are so vulnerable. Climate change, unreliable rains, it hits them first and hardest.
And Josephine Waweru, she lived this day in, day out. She moved back to her village in rural Kenya with, well, basically nothing.
And nothing here really means nothing. The source material is vivid. Zero farming experience, zero money. Just her kids to look after and this small piece of land she inherited.
And the description of her home: simple mud walls, a thin roof, no electricity, no running water, not even a supermarket nearby.
And then there was Ashley, her only cow.
Ashley, right.
Needed 120 liters of water every single day.
That's a huge amount of water. How did she manage that?
Well, her only source was a river 400 meters away. And it wasn't an easy walk.
400 meters.
Okay. Imagine the routine. 6 times a day, she'd haul 20 liters. That's about 45 pounds, remember, on her back.
45 pounds.
Yeah.
6 times.
Up a steep path, she talks about falling so many times, spilling the water she'd worked so hard to get just before reaching home.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, she said she cried. She felt like a wasted resource, but somehow, her determination just kept pushing her forward.
That determination. It led her to keep trying things on the farm, didn't it, despite the water issue?
Absolutely. So in 2017, she branched out, tried fruits and vegetables, thought maybe that could bring in more income.
Makes sense.
But without reliable water, it was, well, a trap. She had to hire these expensive diesel pumps.
Right, the fuel costs.
Exactly. She ended up spending more on fuel and labor than she actually made from the crops. It just wasn't working.
So, another dead end, basically. What next?
Well, by 2019, she pivoted again. Turned to coffee farming, a much longer-term investment,
The coffee takes years.
And she tried to solve the water problem herself, dug a small pond to try and store rainwater. Shows her ingenuity, right? Trying everything.
Definitely resourceful.
Until then.
2020.
2020. The rains just didn't come at all.
Oh, no.
Her new coffee plants, the ones she had invested so much hope in, they were drying up. Her fish pond, bone dry.
That must have been devastating.
Utterly. She said she was genuinely ready to give up. The source paints this picture of her walking the farm each morning, actually talking to her withering plants.
Talking to them.
Yeah, whispering promises like, water is coming soon, even though she had no idea how.
Wow. That level of desperation.
It culminated one night. She couldn't sleep, just lying there, tears in her eyes, and she prayed. Told God, essentially, if you don't give me a solution, I'm done. I'll stop farming.
And then what happened after that prayer?
It's almost unbelievable. The very next morning, 7 a.m. sharp, her phone rings.
Yeah.
It's a woman she doesn't know calling about a solar-powered water pump from a company called Sun Culture.
Right after that prayer. That's uncanny. What was her reaction? She must have been overjoyed.
Oh, not at all. Quite the opposite. Pure, bitter skepticism and frustration.
Really?
Yeah, she apparently laughed and said something like, "The devil is a liar. You woke up this early just to con people. Don't call me again." And she hung up.
Wow. Okay, I guess after so many disappointments.
Exactly, you can understand it. But thankfully, the company didn't give up. They persisted, called again
Okay.
and again.
Okay.
And finally, she listened. Something made her listen. And then she agreed to actually go and see this pump for herself.
And what did she find? What was different this time?
She found a solution that actually addressed her core problems. This pump. Well, first, it didn't need fuel. Huge cost saving right there.
Right. No more diesel bills.
Second, it didn't rely on the electricity grid, which was unreliable anyway if she even had access. It just needed the sun.
Solar powered. Okay.
And third, and this was crucial, she said it was the best part, they had a payment plan. They allowed her to pay slowly over time.
Ah, that's key.
Yeah.
Because the upfront cost would have been impossible otherwise.
Totally impossible. This system, it's called POLE in Kiswahili. It's essentially a pay-as-you-go model.
Can you break that down a bit? How does POLE work?
Sure, it often uses mobile money, which is widespread there. Instead of needing thousands of shillings up front, she could make small, manageable payments, maybe daily or weekly.
Got it.
It removes that huge barrier of needing capital or collateral, which most smallholders just don't have. It makes the technology accessible. It's really quite revolutionary in itself.
That makes so much sense. It de-risks the whole thing for the farmer. So she decided to go for it.
She did. She called it her leap of faith. She had to dig a shallow well first, about 5 meters deep.
Yeah.
Then the company came to install the pump. She describes watching them lower this, quote, big pump into her little well, just feeling sick with nerves.
Yeah, terrified of another failure, I bet.
Absolutely. Fearing another awful disappointment.
Then, the moment of truth.
The moment of truth. They got the solar panels mounted on her roof, connected everything up. She switched it on.
Right.
And within seconds, water just flowing out.
Wow. After all that struggle.
She said it felt like a huge weight had been lifted off her shoulders instantly.
I can only imagine.
But what's really striking is her immediate next thought. It wasn't just, wow, my problems are solved. No.
Yeah.
Her mind immediately went to the hundreds of millions of other smallholder farmers out there just like her. And she thought, they deserve this miracle too.
That's incredible, that perspective right in that moment. So that day really was the turning point.
Oh, completely. Everything changed, she said. That night, she couldn't sleep again.
But this time, for a different reason.
Totally different reason. Not stress. Her mind just lit up. It became, in her words, a factory of ideas.
A factory of ideas. I love that. So what happened on the farm?
With reliable water, it just
Yeah.
exploded with life. Her coffee trees finally thrived. Flowers started blooming everywhere. She expanded her fish farming, went from that one dry pond to 7 ponds teeming with fish.
7 ponds.
Yeah. And then she got into black soldier fly farming.
Black soldier flies. What's that about?
It's really innovative. You use them to break down farm waste, and the larvae become this high-protein, eco-friendly animal feed. So she's creating value from waste.
Wow. Okay. That's smart farming.
Super smart.
Yeah.
She also planted hibiscus. Those are local Kenyan vegetables. And get this, she started making kombucha.
Kombucha on the farm.
Yep. And she proudly claims she makes the best kombucha in the world.
Ah, you gotta love the confidence. It really shows the shift, doesn't it? From pure survival to thriving.
Absolutely. She said, for the first time, my farm was making me money instead of draining it. You can feel the transformation in her words. I came from nothing, and now I have something. I feel like a very useful resource.
That feeling of being useful, not wasted, that's powerful.
It really is. And she shared a little secret to her success, too, a vision board.
Oh, yeah.
She'd drawn it out a year before all this happened. And when she looked back at it after getting the pump, she realized she was actually ahead of schedule on her goals.
That's fantastic. It shows the power of having that vision, even in the toughest times. But then her story doesn't just stop with her own success, does it?
No, not at all. That personal transformation was just the beginning. She says now the most important part of her journey is helping other farmers.
Right. She wants to pass it on.
Exactly. And she's really focused on training people, especially young people. She wants to completely change the narrative around farming.
What narrative is that?
The idea that farming is just a last resort if you can't do anything else. She passionately argues against that. She says, farming is an opportunity, farming is innovation, farming is business.
I like that. Framing it as a business opportunity.
And her message to other farmers is really direct. She says, I don't want you to be like me, meaning struggling like she did. I want you to be better than me.
So learn from her struggle.
Yes. Start with the business plan, she urges them. Don't start with just a burden. Understand that even with just a small amount of water, you can do incredible things. It's about turning that farm into a proper, thriving business.
It's a mindset shift she's promoting.
Completely. And she's also clear that while the pump was her miracle device, the solution is bigger than one tool.
Okay, what else does she advocate for?
Other climate-smart solutions. Things like solar-powered cold storage. Think about how much food is wasted post-harvest because farmer can't keep it cool.
Huge amounts, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in hotter climates.
So, cold storage cuts waste, lets them sell produce for longer, maybe get better prices. Then there are solar milling machines.
So they can process their own grains.
Exactly. Add value right there on the farm, instead of selling raw crops cheap. She also mentions biodigesters.
How do those work?
They use farm waste, like animal manure, to produce biogas for clean cooking fuel. So, less reliance on firewood, better health, cleaner environment.
It's a whole ecosystem of solutions.
It is. It's all about helping farmers use less, waste less, adapt to climate change, and make more from every part of the farm. It's holistic.
And she takes this message beyond the farm gate, right?
Yeah.
She has a call to action.
She does. A direct appeal to policymakers, investors, leaders. She asks the big questions.
Yeah.
Like, how do we make these kinds of solutions accessible to every farmer? What if every single smallholder had affordable solar irrigation?
Imagine the impact.
And crucially, she adds, what if this technology access was combined with the right training, with visioning tools like her board, with mentorship, so farmers don't have to figure everything out alone the hard way like she did?
That support system is vital.
Absolutely, and her bottom line is powerful. She insists, this is not charity.
Right.
This is climate resilience. This is smart investment. This is food security for all of us.
Right.
She knows, because she lived it, that it only takes a little bit of the right thing at the right time to change everything.
Wow. What an incredible arc. Josephine's story, it just hammers home that core idea, doesn't it? That one seemingly small but reliable intervention
It's not the sole problem.
can have this massive exponential impact, life-altering, not just for one farm, but for a life, a family, a whole community.
It really does. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What might be that little bit of the right thing at the right time in other contexts, maybe in challenges you see, or even in your own life? What could unlock that kind of potential?
That's a great question to ponder. And maybe a final thought to leave listeners with. If Josephine, starting with literally nothing in rural Kenya, could spark such transformation with one device, fierce determination, and this growing vision, well, what other impossible solutions might just be waiting for us to uncover the often simple keys, maybe financial, maybe logistical, needed to scale them up and tackle the challenges we face, big or small?